Well, this has been an interesting ride, but stories in general don't end here because next week. Greetings and welcome back to New Genesis. New region drops next week, so until then, we've got some more side stories to do, and don't pay attention to these people spamming this code. It does nothing. As you can see at the top of this chat list, I've already tried it. Didn't give anything. Don't completely ignore that. But yeah, side stories, because this is going to be the last one for a while, because the new region's unlocking tomorrow, and yes, I am doing a Let's Play of its storyline, which I'm not expecting to be much of anything. Considering the size of Kavaris' main storyline compared to Tem's main storyline, compared to Aelio's main storyline, yeah, I'm expecting this to be minuscule. But, you know, we'll see. I do know that the level cap is going to be raised to 70, which is basically nothing at this point, considering my main character, who is basically my main character at this point, is level 65 already. And yeah, Tarshi was my main character originally back before NGS came out, but things change. I started liking Force more than Bouncer. It is what it is. Not that I don't still play on this character, but he's not my main. Right, enough babbling. Let's go get some stories.
Hey, come over here for a minute. Take a look. The view is beautiful.
Yes.
Every part of Kavaris is so pretty. But when I think about how this view is the result of a fight with Dark Falls, I'm not sure how I should feel. Whew, we're at high altitude. It sure is cold up here.
Yes.
I don't think I could have made it up here without these clothes. Manon was talking about how she can deal with this cold by stimulating her internal photons or something. I'm not so sure about that. It's pretty cold.
Well, this is something I've been wondering about. Where did you get those clothes?
Oh, I got these from Crawford. Well, I guess it's more accurate to say my dad had them set aside for me.
Interesting.
I guess my dad made a bunch of arrangements there, in case anything ever happened to him.
Ah.
He generally was the type to just go with the flow, but I guess he did plan ahead sometimes.
He only showed you his carefree side. He had a whole other meticulous side of him that he never showed. I'm making assumptions here, but that does make sense.
I feel like I'm just now starting to understand some things about him. I guess the fact that he set these clothes aside for me means that he predicted I would come here at some point. He never did teach me much about fighting, but now this makes me wonder if he was planning to get around to it someday.
Wouldn't surprise me.
By the way, I notice you always wear whatever you like. Don't you ever get cold?
Personally, I really don't like the cold. I prefer more warm temperatures, but I mean, you'd be surprised how warm suits can be.
I see. Well, know your limits, I guess.
Of course.
Well, I think I'll look around this area a little bit more before I move on. See you later.
Later. I guess that's all there is of her. Weird. Oh yeah, they did get rid of the teleport here. Don't really know why they did that. But that's fine. I'll go talk to Manon then, I guess.
I had a feeling you might come.
Damn it, Sega. You know that's gonna be a meme now, right? Alright. Let's just keep going.
You always creep up on me at times like this.
I mean, I'm not trying to creep.
Let me guess. You're interested in that place too?
Mean Belagana ruins?
Yeah. Lysis also mentioned this place in his report. The people of Kavaris gave Belagana Ruins its name. They refurbished the large ruins that were already here and turned them into a habitable place. Its population was on the order of Los Centrals. It was considered second only to the first central city.
Hmm.
And then, 100 years ago, it turned back into ruins again. Kavaris' technical proficiency at the time was far superior to Aelio or Retem's. And they used to make vehicles that would be considered advanced, even by today's standards.
Once again, the ancient civilization trope.
They poured out all that ingenuity into their fight against the dolls.
And lost. What does that say about us?
The weapons and manufacturing techniques they came up with made them quite formidable. But even with that, they couldn't withstand the dolls' onslaught. They ended up almost completely wiped out. The reason was that their Ark's defenders were subpar. They relied too much on their superior weaponry.
Just about to say that.
Didn't develop their fighting abilities. The foundation of every Ark's defender is photons.
Yep.
No matter how powerful the weapon, without ammo or energy, it's worthless. In the end, all you can really rely on is your own photons and your ability to wield them. The Kavaris Ark's defenders weren't able to do that, and so they lost. Or at least that was the gist of the information found in Lysis' data. I only got to see some of the documents, but from what I saw, he mentioned the war often. Not only was he passionate about his research, but he was an excellent Ark's defender. At a basic level, all Ark's defenders need to excel in both martial and scientific pursuits. On that point, it's pretty similar to how Retem's Ark's defenders think.
You beginning to see a pattern? Because I am.
Neither Aelio nor Retem have anything like the technology that Kavaris had at the time. But even if they did, they wouldn't have the capacity to produce it in mass. So they have to make do with the weaponry that they have. Which means that each Ark's defender has to actually know how to fight.
That's a good thing, though.
There simply isn't any other choice.
Because the better you get at it, the more you want to get good at it. And the stronger you get in the end. At least that's an idealist way of thinking about it, I guess. And you have to consider each individual's wants and desires and so on and so forth. Really, that's Aina taking out as well? Guess I'm talking to Ilma then.
Who's there? Well, fancy seeing you.
Greetings.
What are you doing here?
Could ask you the same.
I'm conducting an investigation for my research. Oh, but don't worry. I wasn't planning on going to Lost Central. Actually, I'd like to go to Lost Central too, to continue my research. But Mary and the others yelled at me and told me never to go there alone again.
So go with the group.
By the way, thank you for rescuing me a while back.
No problem.
There was so much going on, I don't think I ever said thanks. At the time, I had no idea all that stuff was going on outside. communications were jammed, and there were all those tough dolls roaming around out there. I had some food with me, and there were mountains of research materials I wanted to go through. So I thought I'd just settle in and try to escape when I got the chance. I guess I probably should have left a note, or something.
Probably, huh?
I was reading my grandpa's reports in the lodge's study.
Get your crap together, Sega. You couldn't have spent another few days to get the subtitles to match what the English voice actors are saying. Really? How come it's only these two, Mary and Ilma, that are having this problem? Because I guarantee you this wasn't the case in the Kavaris main storyline. Seriously.
And I came across a description of Central Cannon. Wow, that sounds cool, I thought. And before I knew it, I was on my way. I have a bad habit of losing sight of everything else when I get something in my head that I'm interested in.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I need to work on that. But at least it got Central Cannon on the path to repair, right? And I got a good start on exploring Lost Central too, right?
Ends don't always justify the means.
So the pros and cons kind of balance out in the end, don't you think?
Have you considered the pros and cons of acquiring some female companionship, my guy?
Seriously? Not you too? Mary, really let me have it when I got back to the lodge that day too.
Of course she did.
Ever since then, I've made sure to let someone know before I go out anywhere. And I always call if I think I'm going to be late getting home. I try not to go off by myself too much. My siblings used to all kind of do their own thing most of the time.
Yeah, they're trying not to do that anymore. And that's something I think you should be a part of. Now that the rest of your siblings have figured out what your grandpa meant by, you should take care of each other. And I'm not trying to take his place or anything like that. I'm just saying. Being responsible means thinking about others. So when you decide you need to do something, you need to not only just let them know, but in cases where you're planning on something dangerous, take some of them with you, the ones that are willing to fight, that sort of thing.
But now they check in with each other more and go out together a lot. Ever since that one incident, I'd say a lot of things have really changed.
Yes, for the better.
That's good, right? I plan to start putting even more effort into helping Elio now.
Yeah, instead of taking credit for them getting their crap together, how about you get your crap together with them?
I'm going to help with Central Cannon development and do everything I can to support them. And then the pros and cons should really balance out, don't you think?
Have you considered the pros of helping your family out?
Well, I'd better get going.
What am I saying? Of course you haven't.
Oh, what am I saying? Of course you don't.
Thank you again.
Uh-huh. He really does sound just like a little kid. Okay, let's see here. And yeah, I know talking sense to an NPC is foolish, but just, I kind of like having that sense of role-playing, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm? Oh, it's you. I'm just taking care of a little favor for Crawford. Oh, that's right. Do you have a minute?
Might as well, I'm here after all.
Since we'll be working together going forward, I should probably tell you some things about Crawford and me.
I'm listening.
As you probably know, my family has never lived anywhere but Caveris. The only people I ever saw or talked to were my siblings. Every once in a while, some Arcs defenders from Alio would stop by. But just to get directions, or to exchange a little bit of news. The only other thing I ever saw was a vast expanse of white. My siblings are all pretty enthusiastic about Grandpa's old dream of reviving Caveris. But for me, something has always seemed lacking in this kind of life, somehow.
People.
And then one day, I was organizing some data at my terminal when I happened to come across a research forum. As I was reading it, some data caught my eye.
They met each other on the internet. That's hilarious.
Come to find out later, it was written by Crawford. I happened to notice some mistakes, so I posted some comments.
I don't know why that makes me laugh so much that they met over the internet. I kind of thought at first that it was some, like, I don't know what I thought, but just, I don't know.
And the person started hammering me with questions. So, that's how I met Crawford. Well, I say met, but we were more like pen pals.
So you never met him in person then?
Never. To tell the truth, I doubt I would even recognize him if I did. He probably wouldn't be able to recognize me either.
I don't know about that one, Chief, considering that he had a photo of you to show us when we came looking for you that one time.
But wait, we sent our profile pics to each other once. My picture was kind of old. I heard that you used that photo when you were out looking for me.
Yes. That's literally what I just said. And yeah, this is true. The game made me confuse some of your siblings for you.
Really? Sorry, you must have had a pretty difficult search then.
Not really.
I know all of us siblings look pretty similar. If we had the same clothes and hair color, you probably couldn't tell us apart. Anyway, getting back to the subject. Even without seeing his face, I can pretty much imagine how he feels just reading his reports. I can tell how passionate he is about a topic, or which areas he struggled with. I feel like we understand each other, even without meeting in person or talking. Even now, we still correspond about technology, mostly by writing. So our relationship has always been somewhere between just plain research partners and real friends. Lately, I've had more chances to correspond with other research scientists too, but their responses are never as quick and accurate as Crawford's. It's really made me realize all over again what an amazing man he is. Hey, don't tell Crawford any of this, okay? He'll get a big head about it.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Don't worry, I'll be quiet about it.
Well, that's it about Crawford and me. I bet a lot of people would think the two of us are kind of weird.
You can get that a lot of your siblings. Manning gets some of it. Honestly, I think you two are fine.
Anyway,
Manning
I just
too.
wanted to tell you about it.
I don't actually really understand why people have a hard time understanding you personally, but that's probably just me.
Well, see you later.
Right, well, I guess that's all the side stories then. I mean, maybe someone will get released with Stia, but for the time being, it looks like I've done them all. Kind of surprised there weren't all that many in Caveris, though. I honestly don't know why I'm surprised by that. Whatever. Well, this has been an interesting ride, but stories in general don't end here because next week we've got a whole new region main story to go through. So, yeah, that's going to be a trip. So at this point in the video, it means the world to me, as it always does. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Farewell. Looks like we'll need to replace your Kavara's outfit with some warm weather clothing soon.
Aren't we kind of low on Meseta because somebody keeps missing weekly quests?
Well, I'll figure something out.